Massive red numbers today. The SPX down 2%, the Nasdaq down 2.5%. Today we're gonna have a look how war usually affected price in the not so distant past. We're gonna have a look how crypto is affected by all of this chaos and how to handle our longs and how to make sense of all of this. Let's go. So guys, another exciting day in the market. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all well. We talked about the US stock market and I said to you, I expect that we see more downside from here. And we do right now. The question is, will we break those lows down? If so, I think we will go back down to 6.5K here and maybe even lower. Time will tell. Still in big shorts in the US 100. Let's see if we break those lows down or if we get a bounce from here. A change in character could happen and it changes then quite a lot. So there's no reason to really stick to this one bias and try to justify everything and explain everything that this needs and has to happen. I have this short. Should we go lower? That's good. Should we start making higher highs here? I can still decide to go out around break even or take a slight profit. And we talked about this and I said, monitor the US stock market and how the US stock market is behaving to those real world events, to this war that's going on right now. And many stocks get super hammered right now. I took some of those longs here, like Rigetti, QBT. I showed them in the last video as well. And also Loy. Obviously, those are red right now. But I also explained my risk exposure and how I stay flexible and how my whole exposure is pretty much more short right now, plus the crypto longs. And now diving into the crypto positions, it's super interesting to see that the crypto market is pretty much not affected. Many people will probably say this is strength. I would simply say it is what it is. It's not reacting like crypto should react to this. This could mean the crypto market is stronger as expected. This could mean this is a big trap, making people believe that the crypto market is stronger as it really is. So how to make sense of this? Simply by not acting and by not going crazy, because look at higher time frame. We are still in the same range. We're still doing pretty much nothing. And so there's no reason to invalidate your higher time frame ideas. Don't get lost in this noise. And just because the US stock market is collapsing right now, just because we have this real world crisis situation, does not mean the crypto long idea has to fail. It could fail, and for this we have our stop loss. So there's no reason to panic, no nothing. If we take the stop loss, it was a defined calculated risk, and if it works, it works. There's no reason to try to overanalyze this, because we had past wars where it was super bullish for price. We looked at this. The last big conflict in the Middle East here led to a super bullish reaction. The biggest difference we have right now is that we are in a bear market, in a confirmed bear market, because structure has broken to the downside. So structure turned. We are higher time frame bearish right now. And here we have been higher time frame bullish. This is a huge difference. And if we look in the 2022 bear market, when Russia attacked the Ukraine, it led to a short-term bullish reaction. That's true, even though it took some time here. And I mean, it took pretty much 20 days from this point on to make then more or less a lower high. But many people probably got trapped here, and then we continued lower into the bear market. So this could be this situation, right? It's not a given that this war as bearish news leads to higher prices. Short term, it did here. And also our second example here, when Hamas from Gaza attacks Israel, World War III fears, was also short-term bullish here for a very short period. Then we made a lower low from there, but then we continued going higher from there on. So war as fear, short-term, could lead to a bullish reaction simply to catch people off guard. It does not mean a full-blown higher time frame reversal is in play, like more or less here. Even though this was not even a reversal, it was just a continuation of the trend. And here, yeah, we could argue we are in this big demand. We could argue that we get a continuation of this higher time frame trend, but with this breakdown here, with those several closes below this structural low, we are technically in a downtrend and we haven't seen this here. There was no downtrend in play. We made a higher high and then a higher low. From there it went higher. And here we made a lower high. And so I do not expect a full-blown continuation of the trend, like making a new all-time high, but it could definitely lead to a bullish reaction into the supply. And this is why I'm still long. And like from a logical, rational perspective, looking at the US stock market, looking at everything right now that's happening in the world, it seems to be super dumb to be still long crypto. But it's crypto. It's always the most dumbest thing. It's always the most irrational thing that in the end plays. And so don't get nervous, play your levels, play your strategy and stick to it. You have clear invalidations. You don't have to second guess all the time. Just keep your ideas, keep your bias and play it and hedge it. So for example, here I could also be fearful, oh no, it went to my entry again. I could have been super fearful and selling the position and thinking, oh no, it goes higher. Also here on the Nasdaq, we talked about this, we broke this trend line, we made more or less this little higher high. And I said, technically, it's now like going against me, but what would I do as market maker? I would want to make people like buy here, and if I close my short, I pretty much buy here. And now we continue lower as it seems. We will see, time will tell if this is really like going down, because pretty much we go sideways ever since here, right? But it was the right choice to keep this short, and it was a right choice to take some longs. And those longs, they hedge best case then my short. And this is exactly what happens, because this is going into profit and this is going into unrealized loss right now. And so this is exactly what hedging looks like. Instead of selling my one position, giving up my bias, closing the US 100 short, I decided to take some longs on US stocks, which is then hedging my short. This is pretty much how hedging works. And you see, either way, I'm not nervous, I'm not frightened, no nothing. I'm prepared. And this is what you want to do. You want to prepare, make a game plan and prepare. The higher time frame game is noisy, and every time you think you understand something, they will change it quite a little bit. It's never the same. It's never what people expect. So expect the unexpected. And I would say it would be super unexpected in all of this chaos if the crypto longs suddenly start to work. And so guys, that's it for today already. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay prepared. Bye.